So I'm here with Robin Geisler from Ohio Jiu-Jitsu, or what's called Gracie, Ohio. Gracie, Ohio. And YouTube fame. I've been watching you forever, brother. It's so good to have you on the channel.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. Really, you have a great channel and I love watching all your content.
So we're at the Jiu-Jitsu Lifestyle Summit this week, learning all kinds of cool stuff. And I thought it'd be fun to bring Robin on the channel, do a little collab. And so I did a video on the channel a few months ago called If I Could Be a White Belt Again, knowing what I know now. Not Jiu-Jitsu, but just having a better understanding, what I would do differently. And I thought maybe today we would talk about some things that we wish we knew when we were white belts.
Yeah, there's obviously so much. The first one, if I'm allowed to go ahead and jump into it.
Jump in.
I think the first one that I wish I knew at white belt was something I actually learned the last day as a white belt. I was a white belt for 2.5 years, and I did a private lesson with Master Kaiki, and he showed me the high guard. And I was awarded my blue belt that very same day.
Wow.
And but the high guard, what he showed me, how to climb up the back and get control, was just massive for me in competition, as well as just like when you look at self-defense. So
yeah,
can we
you want
get
to show
in
me?
Position a little bit? Yeah. So in this situation here, right, what Master Kaiki would teach was break the guy down. This is very standard, right? Mm-hmm. But when the person starts with posture, they typically want to have it back. So the hands will typically come here, and then you start walking your legs up their back into this position here, right? So now, very hard for him to even strike me, right?
And you like to be over the shoulder.
Yes. So there's so much opportunity here. It's very hard for you to come back in, you know. And then going for arm locks was difficult in the beginning because I gave up all this space, and they see it coming. But from here, it's like one little shift, and I've got the arm right there. So
let's show it from the side a little bit.
So it's almost, first you have to break the posture, but you want to go here. So they feel the threat of the choke. Then when they start to push up, you see the arms start to come away from the body. So you take that space away. 1, 2, just like you're climbing monkey bars when you're a kid. You cover the shoulder here, and now we place the arm where we want, and we can be a little bit more direct now. And now I can kind of windshield wiper. Now the arm's right in line. I pass the leg over the head, and there we have the arm lock. So, and that's just the beginning.
And for people with maybe a little shorter legs than what you have, do you angle off or what?
Yes. So one of the best guys. Did I lose my?
No, it's still there.
Got it. You know, it's a great question because, like a lot of people think, well, yeah, it's great for you because you have long legs. But one of the best guys I ever saw with the high guard was a guy named Barrett Yoshida. He was on our team. And he was amazing. It was like he was climbed up like a little monkey. And, you know, he had such an amazing triangle. I saw him triangle. Huge guys. You just had to modify how he did it. But the concept was the same. He'd, like just walk his hips up, get into a high, tight position. And you look at that position even in modern mixed martial arts or fighting, you're pretty safe because the guy can't chamber a punch, right? So that was a huge one for me.
Nice. You know, on the subject of posture, so that was postural control from the bottom, posture when you are in someone's guard, because, and maybe you can, help me refine this, but, I always see people doing this. They're coming up and you pull and then down and you're doing this and you're wasting so much energy trying to get to a baseline level of posture. Master Hickson talked about that pelvic tilt, kind of that anterior tilt where you're rooting yourself, doing a crunch, rooting yourself, getting your base, getting everything. And then your hands, it's really the body. You pull me, and if my posture is good, you could almost do a sit-up from that, right?
Right, yeah.
And so then the arms can multitask a little more because they're not the primary means of holding posture.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was my second one. So thanks for.
No.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, well, show me what you like.
Well, to me, it's exactly the same thing because when I learned this, I didn't learn this until black belt, and I felt it, and like, oh my gosh, like I was fighting so hard to keep my posture with my arms. And when you think about it from this perspective, if I'm fighting like this, I'm fighting all 4 of your limbs with my 2 weaker ones. As opposed to doing exactly what you just talked about, right? Having that like sensitivity. And now the hands, like they can do the job of blocking the lifting point, right? You start to sit up on that side. I don't need to commit too much, right? I don't need to come to you. You're trying to come to me, and I just need to be comfortable in the position. And then when it's time, even breaking the guard is so much easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was huge. I didn't learn this until black belt.
How do you like to break the closed guard, or what do you think for white belts is the most reliable way to break the guard?
So for white belts, sometimes it can be difficult because honestly, and I think I learned this more from here than anything, I don't like to open the guard anymore. I like to frustrate the guy to where he opens the guard.
So then they want to open the guard.
Yeah, because there's no closed guard pass. There's a guard break, and then there's an open guard pass. I can't pass your closed guard. But if I exhaust your attacks, you get annoyed. And at some point, what do?
Yeah. And so at some point,
you open.
Yeah.
So 99% of the time, I don't open the guard. Unfortunately, sometimes white belts, they're just like, I got Robin in my guard. So then I have to just kind of, this is my favorite, is just making a frame inside. I'll press. I draw a line from the ankle to the knee. That's the angle I'll press. But again, using that posture and that curve in the back to help push on the back side to break the guard.
Yeah, that's a great angle. I like the leverage you get from that.
So if I feel it, and the best time to do that is when you're trying to pull me in.
Yeah.
When you try to pull, the tighter the banjo string, the easier it breaks.
And
So
do you care what foot I have on top and back?
No, because like right now, if your focus is just to hold the guard, this is going to be hard for me. But if your focus is to pull me in and my posture is strong, it breaks easy. So I give a little bit and then I kind of sink into it. But this is just a frame. I'm not using arm strength. This is using arm strength, opening up a lot of problems. It's just here. Now, I never have this floating out because it's going to throw it down and go for the triangle. So I'm always connected. But just using that same posture you were talking about to keep myself up. When I feel that tension, I know it's going to be tighter and it's going to be easier. That's why a lot of people stand, because there's more stress on the feet. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much.
There is.
There's so much. I wish there was a thumb drive you could buy and just stick it in your neck, and now you know all the fundamental techniques.
Right. Oh my gosh, yeah. The Matrix. Boop.
And it's tough. You know, being a white belt is a thankless part of the journey because you're
It's difficult, but we love you, white belt. Stick with it.
Well, Robin, it's an honor. I saw photos of you last year at this event with your arm in a sling, and I thought, man, I wish I could get invited to that. And this year I got invited, so it was nice to.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a pleasure to meet you finally, and I appreciate you having me on. This is quite an honor.
And where can my viewers find you and stalk you and buy your stuff?
GracieOhio.com or YouTube/Gracie Ohio. Just search Gracie Ohio, you'll find me.
Awesome. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you very much, Rick. Appreciate it.